was being shipped off to long-term holding in Oklahoma. So made a trip to Axtell, picked up the two boys, and they're there now. And Romeo's pretty much living up to his name. He's a lover boy. Clancy's a little more cautious, but it is phenomenal. Go with that horse that really picks you. And there's a horse. There's so much vibe and energy each of us have, and these horses are tuned into it. And it's more, the colors and all that aren't really all that important. You can't ride color. There's going to be a horse out here that speaks to you. Speak with them. Let that be the one you're thinking of. You have your heart set on a horse, well, bid on that one as well, but I guarantee you there's probably one or two horses out here that are just tuned in the same channel you are, and that's going to make a world of difference. So I think that's pretty much it. If anybody's got questions, feel free. I'm happy to answer anything I can. Jim.
Speak a little bit about differences you might expect in training and results of say an older horse like Kiva versus one that's 1 to 5.
The 1 to 5. The 1-year-old and 2-year-olds are so fresh in the world. I mean, everything's new to them. On the whole, they're going to be an easier horse to mold and to work with. On the whole. There's also some 2-year-old brats out there. I kind of love them. But on the whole, the younger horses are going to be easier. I mean, this one over here is already loving on a bunch of people. They're a lot more, especially the 1-year-olds, a whole lot more curiosity than there is caution. Because in that first year, the weanlings and the 1-year-old, they're just allowed to just be kids, even in the herd. Once they're in the 2-year-old stage, then the moms, then the other horses in the herd are like, no, you need to behave like a horse. Oh, you need to be cautious of, oh, that's a bobcat, be cautious of that. Oh, that's a mountain lion, be cautious of that. So there's definitely seems to be a lot more curiosity and less caution. Or they're all equally curious. There's less caution in the young ones. So they may be a lot more willing. Kiva, on the other hand, at 15, she seems darn comfortable in her skin. She seems awfully confident to me. Dangerously confident? No. But she's confident. I've seen some of the 3 to 5-year-olds can be more of a challenge than the 10 and ups, just because they're coming into their own, and they can be almost too confident. So it really comes down to the horse. They're all great animals. They're all great horses. If I had room, and if hay wasn't $10 a bale, I would be putting my name on for Kiva, but I'm sure as much of a following she has, somebody, friends of the Little Book Cliffs, is going to go home with her. But she is really a phenomenal horse. And I have a thing for bays, and I have a thing for black horses, and I really do prefer a mare over a gelding, although, there's exceptions. But, again, consistency and a commitment to the horse you have is going to make all the world of a difference. There's a lot of things you can do, and everything in building a relationship you do not need a trainer for. Build that relationship, then send them off to a trainer if you're not comfortable training. But build that relationship, because those 1-year-olds over there, you better put them in your will if you're over 50, because they're going to have a good 28, 32 years in them. So, Kiva, as healthy as she looks, and she's put on a little weight since she came off the range. I bet she probably makes 30 easy. So, God, I just love that. Got beautiful eyes, a lot of thinking. She's using her nose. She's checking you out. I mean, it's just, I don't know, age is just kind of, it's like people say, God, you're over 50, why are you doing that? I'm like, because I still can, so, with the 4-H programs and FFA programs are always working with the yearlings. And again, I think as kids with kids, there's just an energy and something magic there. So, but yeah, the quickest horse I had to trailer load and halter train in the whole 9 yards was a week. The longest, 8 months. So there's your window. And the longest that took 8 months was a 7-year-old out of Divide Basin. She's a big girl, bigger than any pony here, big girl. And she would let you know. She would let you know I've had enough, or nope, not today. And but we're there now. Now I've got 17-year-old mare that came out of South Dakota, was one of the Hallelujah horses. 7 months to get to touch her, but she was so traumatized and had so much to deal with. We just had to work through that. She's always on one side of me, and then Aowen, the big mare, is on the other, and I'm just kind of sandwiched in between them. So, you know, you may not see any results today, but they're building. They're building. And that foundation is building. And then one day it's just like, oh, you notice the switch, but it's all working within the horse. So never miss an opportunity to be kind, but you also have to stay safe. So I mean, worst case scenario, horse pins their ears and is coming at you. You're around enough Mustangs, it happens. They pin their ears, they will charge you. Do not backpedal. You cannot backpedal as fast as a horse coming towards you. So basically what you want to do, I'm not going to do it, I don't want to scare her. You're going to get your hands up, you're going to go as large as you can, and you're going to be sidestepping, doing a side path. Because they're coming forward, not as good going left or right. And you just go big and make a lot of noise. 99.9% of the time they're going to back off. That 1% or that 0.1% of the time or whatever, know your exit. Get up and over a panel. But most of the time, you go big, go to the side, you'll be safe. So, again, just never miss an opportunity to be kind to these horses. They will repay you 100,000 times over. If you are an a-hole to these horses, they may put up with you, they may go along with it, and you go on your first 20-mile trail ride up there, and you're 20 miles from your trailer, and you're on your butt in a cactus, and you're walking home. So, very similar to a mule. They have incredible memories. I've gone back and visited with horses that I worked with 5 years ago. They remember me like it was yesterday. So, they are just, I don't know, there's no finer horse on the planet in my book, just because they have the street smarts that you just don't find in domestic. And they are so relationship based, truly relationship based. God, I love that. Can I take her home? No, I can't. Can't afford it. Okay, I think I'm done unless we got some other questions. Go ahead. Soon, very soon. In fact, if I had the opportunity, I like to adopt in pairs or purchase in pairs. In the larger facilities, you can just look, like I did with Romeo and Clancy for Casey. They were buddies. They came together, and so they stay together. I have an area where I can work with them individually. I get further along with Romeo individually, but I get further along with Clancy if I'm working with Romeo and Clancy. So getting them a friend, because they are herd-based, I highly recommend it. Now they can get to the point they depend too much on a friend, but if you work it right, the more confident friend will help the less confident horse along. And I will work with 2 horses at a time, and I'll work with 1 horse, and it's kind of a blend. But I want their buddy to be right next door. And in my setup, it's like this. I've got a 40 by 50 area that I use for training, and then I've got 2 shelters to the side that are 40 by 30, and then behind that I have the big arena. So the majority of the herd's in the arena, so they're always there. And it's amazing how many horses will come up, and I pay attention to that. They will come up and volunteer to help, and they always seem to know what to do. And they'll come up and I'll interact with this other horse, and all of a sudden it's like Clancy's like, oh, well, something cool's going on over here. And all of a sudden I've got Clancy, who is just starting to accept touch from me. He's been touching me and smelling me and giving me little back rubs for weeks now. But he's like, oh, wait, Laverne's over here, and she's really loving this, and she's breathing deeply, and she's yawning and she's relaxed and whatever, and all of a sudden I got Clancy right here. So, man, use whatever you have at your means to help these horses transition into their new life. Other horses, I had a Mustang that could easily clear these from, I mean, just standing here, she'd go over a 6-foot panel, easy. So we had a 6-foot enclosure, and then above that we built up more 6-foot to an 8-foot. The amazing thing that helped calm her down wasn't another Mustang. We had this billy goat. Those two absolutely adored each other. And all of a sudden she was like a little puppy dog. She was so uncomfortable in her own skin. But that billy goat helped turn her around. So I mean, it's like, it's okay to think outside of the box. I mean, there is no one method. Other horses are going to help. Billy goat might help. I've known dogs that have been able to help. Cats, barn cats are phenomenal. It's just opportunities will present themselves, and you're like, wow, I never thought of that before. You know, so it's just kind of, I don't know, it's just a lot of fun. So, any other questions? Did I answer that, or did I just go off on a tangent? Okay. Go ahead. Yeah. I think, again, it goes into the relation. Geldings are just kind of, yeah, we'll go along and get along. The mares are so relationship based. I mean, when you really look out in the herd, it's a mare that's leading that herd. I mean, the stallion's getting all the notoriety and stuff because he's big and he's strong and he's just, you know, a band stallion's pretty high up on the badass level. But you will find, like Kiva, you'll find like a 15-year-old mare. She knows every watering hole. She knows her offspring and her offspring's offspring. And that more mature mare is really the glue. She's not the one bossing around, but she knows where to go to find shelter in a bad storm. She knows where when the other water holes have dried up, she knows where that one spring is. I think it's just the relationship. Now, gelding, you know, if you want a horse, if you just want to go the traditional way, you want a dead broke horse, and you just want to, you know, push button, left, right, forward, back, gelding's probably the way to go. With a mare, it's like, again, you got to build that relationship, but holy cow, once you build it, it's phenomenal. The geldings are probably easier in the training, traditional training. If you know, you put in a Pat Pirelli or Clinton Anderson or whoever, but the more, you know, mainstream training. But I've found if you go, I mean, my mentors or who I've followed, I mean, John Lyons was my original foundation. And he is still, I mean, it's amazing. The way he explains things have just been lost on the next level or the next generation of trainers that have come out when he talks about, you know, sacking out a horse. You know, you don't want to desensitize a horse to be so dead broke that they're just, you know, have no reaction to anything. You want to use that opportunity that horse looks to you for support. That they'll look to you and go, hey, this is kind of weird, I don't know what to do, how are you reacting? So, and again, that's more relation-based, sacking out than, you know, dead broke, desensitizing. So, and again, I don't know, maybe it's just a guy thing, I just like girls better than I do boys, I don't know. But, I mean, I'm in awe of this girl, it's phenomenal. Yeah. Yep. So, I guess that was just kind of my other point is it's like, don't let age get in the way, you know. It's like, I even find at work, I work part-time at City Market because it's the only place I can afford health insurance. So, but what I found there at City Market too, you got all these youngsters that you want to get any work done, look for somebody that's got gray hair, the work will get done. No, you know, and so just don't let age, you know, a 15-year-old, we've got a 12-year-old gelding over there, Doc. God, he's a hunk. You know, and Comet is, she literally has a Comet for a Blaze. She's 9 years old. Beautiful black horse. So, you know, don't let age dissuade you at all. And don't let a mare intimidate you. Well, she could be, you know, these horses will talk to you. I mean, not in English, but they will definitely let you know if they're interested in you. I just love everything I see about this girl, licking and chewing. She's really relaxed. So, she's gonna make somebody a fine pony. Any other questions? I guess that's kind of it, but I think the other thing is it's just relax and have fun. You know, bring joy into the pen you're working with your horse at. Just have fun to heck with, you know, it takes 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months, a year before you touch the horse. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, normally it's in a handful of weeks to a couple of months, and you've got them halter trained and all that. And sometimes it takes a little longer. Yes? I believe you do pick them up. They have a chute. They basically they're just pushed onto your trailer. So yeah, the BLM's got that down to a science. If you don't have a trailer, there's a couple, 3 members of Friends of the Mustangs that can get the horse to your place. So. Alrighty. Any other questions? Alright, thank you all. It's been a pleasure. And again, I'm on the resource guide. And let's find these ponies some loving homes. I guess I'll go get my jacket.